Knowledge the green wallies, all I see. My mind hold math like caller ID. Chose the path that chose me. I'ma tell you like G.O.D. told me. Greed, lust, hate, and envy sweep us from Shempty. Keeps us from simply unifying, organizing. We all are falling when we think we all are rising. We pop Chris on the horizon.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of
I'd rather be civilizing.
Today we're going to be looking at a fragrance from the house of Atelier. And the reason that I picked a fragrance from this house is first and foremost, I've heard really great things about Atelier. Secondly, you can get 30 ml bottles from this house for around a pretty reasonable $70. And there's plenty of locations in New York that carry this house. Bergdorf Goodman, Atelier, Aids de Venustus, some Sephora's actually carry this. But to get my bottle, I went down to Soho, the Soho Boutique on Elizabeth Street, and I picked this guy up. This is Vetiver Fatal. Now, just so you guys know, the definition of an atelier is an artist's workroom or workshop. And the creators of Atelier are a duo made up of Sylvie Ganter and Christophe Cervicel. And this is a relatively newer house. They started in 2010 with the intention of making fragrances centered around the concept of cologne absolute. And many of my subscribers already understand the basic concept of the very old formula of an eau de cologne. And it's of course a scented water. And that water is usually fragranced with flowers, citrus extracts, herbs, roots, plants. And they wanted to take this very classic method of making these what are usually light scented waters to a higher level and a higher concentration of ingredients and oils needed to scent the fragrances. And that's where the term cologne absolute comes from. Now, they have 3 stores, one in Soho, which was the first, one in France, which was the second, and one in Brooklyn, which was the third. They're opening, I think, one in San Francisco in a little while. But the first one opened in 2011, and all of these shops are sort of beautifully decorated with industrial work tables and lamps and stools and engraving machines for the leather pouches they do. And the engraving machines are vintage and sourced from French and American factories. So more than just being about boutiques, these are places where people can come and explore the art and learn more about the craft of fragrance. Now, none of this means nothing if the fragrances aren't good. And fortunately for everyone, they have some great scents in their catalog for many different tastes and styles. They currently have about 16 to choose from, including their sort of premium metal collection fragrances, and there's a few more coming out. I think I got to smell an osmanthus floral fragrance and a santal sandalwood fragrance, which are going to be coming out I think around the fall. The first fragrance that I checked out from Atelier was Orange Sanguine. A ton of reviewers have pointed out that that fragrance smells exactly like freshly squeezed orange juice, and it does. It's uncanny. Some people really like that. Some people think it's a little too simple and want something a bit more challenging. I was one of the folks who wanted something a bit more challenging, and so I went off to find my first fragrance from Atelier. Now, 3 sizes for the majority of their fragrances: a 1-ounce travel spray for a very reasonable, as I said, $60 to about $80. 100 ml bottle for about $95 to $145, or a huge 200 ml bottle for about $155 to $300, depending on the fragrance. And with that 200 ml, you get a travel spray filled with the fragrance of your choice and a leather case with your name engraved. So that's a great deal. If there's a fragrance that they make and you love, you can get that in the 200 ml size and then get yourself a free 30 ml bottle of something else. So I went down there to the Soho Boutique on a Saturday afternoon, and the fragrances that I was sort of debating between were Sous Le Toit or Vetiver Fatal. And they didn't have 30 mLs of Sous Le Toit, but the very friendly gentleman, I have to give a big shout out to the guy who was there that Saturday afternoon until I unfortunately didn't get his name, but man, was this guy just a great salesperson, really knowledgeable, really passionate about the brand. You can sort of tell when someone really believes what they're saying, and this guy was really into Atelier and the story behind him, and just letting me smell a bunch of stuff. And I just want to let Atelier know that, man, whoever is in your store that Saturday afternoon is a great representation of the house, and you should definitely do whatever you can to keep that guy on the team. But he told me with Sous Le Toit that he could make me up a 30 ml bottle if I want it, and I just decided, let me purchase Vetiver Fatal, and if I want Sous Le Toit, I'll come back for that. I mean, he also knew that I was a collector. I told him how much I liked gold leather and Mistral Patchouli, and if every Atelier store is staff like the one in Soho. They're just going to continue doing big things, I promise you. And the shop's also beautiful and perfect for that Nolita neighborhood on the same block as Le Labo and right across the street from Aesop, which is a great skincare store that I actually picked up a shower wash from. But as I said, I picked up Vetiver Fatale 30 ml, and immediately after wearing this a few times, I realized that I should have gotten the 100 ml, and I probably will at some point. The 30 ml was $75, a great deal. This was a 2012 release, and the notes on it are Calabre and Bergamot, Sicilian Lemon, Bitter Orange, Tunisian Orange Blossom, Violet Leaf, Plum, Haitian Vetiver, Cedar, and Oud. And so as far as your presentation goes, it's a pretty simple but great presentation. I think it's really well done. Vetiver Fatale, a little bit of information about the notes in this, some information about Atelier Cologne on the back, same thing there, and then you just have, Vetiver Fatale, Cologne Absolute, Atelier Cologne. Bottle is also very simple, but I think elegant. Atelier Cologne, Vetiver Fatale, Cologne Absolute. Address on the back, and a very nice atomizer. Nothing crazy, but fine for the job that it does. And this is an amazing scent. If you've ever smelled Vetiver Tonka by Jean-Claude Ellena from the Hermescence line, this is similar, but I think this is better, and it's cheaper. And what you're going to get with this is Vetiver. You'll definitely get that green, rooty Vetiver thing going on, but then it sort of blends with this almost gourmand marshmallow accord. It's beautiful, and why I like this better than Vetiver Tonka is that this has some fruitiness to it, almost like a juicy fruit gum vibe. I really like this fragrance. I think it's tremendous. My favorite from the line so far. I like it better than Gold Leather and Silver Iris. As it dries down, it gets fruitier, and then it's sort of like a hazelnut thing that Vetiver Tonka has as well. It's brilliant perfumery, to say the least. And what I also liked about it, also, by the way, resembles Bal d'Afrique by Byredo. I think Vetiver Tonka, this, and Bal d'Afrique are redundant. I don't think you need to own all three. I think you could pick whichever one you like best, whichever one's the best value, and just go with that. I think this could be worn in any season, really, but this is going to shine best in the spring and fall. And also great for any occasion, which is why I really think that the 100 ml or 200 ml would have been worth it for me. This is something you could definitely rock on a date. Night out is fine. You could wear this to work. You could wear it on the weekends. It's just really versatile. Probably unisex, but I think this will work better for a man than a woman. But either sex could definitely pull this off. I also get excellent longevity and projection off of this. Even though this is a Cologne Absolute strength, I get like 8 hours longevity with this and very good projection as well. I really like this, and because this is offered in 3 different sizes, all good values, I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think the only thing for me that stopped this from being a 10 out of 10 is because, this isn't 100% original. Vetiver Tonka came out in 2004. This dropped 8 years later, and even though they're different, they're pretty close side by side. But again, I think this is better than Vetiver Tonka because it costs less and it's more fruity, and there's just a bit more to it, I think, than Vetiver Tonka. It's got that nuttiness, but then it's also got the beautiful bowl of fruit thing going on, and then of course just a very sort of crisp and clean Vetiver note, sort of like the Vetiver you get in Creed's original Vetiver. Just really happy with this purchase, and I got a sample of the gentleman again. He made me a really generous sized sample of Sous La Toile, and I'll probably wind up getting that as well. I really haven't gotten into that yet. I've been busy with a lot of fragrances recently, but I've put a reasonable, not really, I haven't really put a dent in this. I've worn it I think twice, and you don't need much, so I haven't really gone through that much of it, but I think eventually I'll probably wind up selling this and grabbing 100 ml. Just because I think that I want the 100 ml. I don't think I go for the 200. I think the 100. I don't think I need 200 mls of anything in my life except water. But this is awesome. There's a great fragrance. I highly recommend anyone who likes Vetiver, anyone who likes gourmands and sort of nutty fragrances, check this out. And check out all of Atelier colognes. You know, they also have a rose one, a rose and oud one that's very unique. Orange sanguine, if you're a citrus lover, gotta check that out. And check out their 2 metal fragrances, the gold leather and the silver iris. And then definitely check out what's coming. They got multiple scents coming out, and I really just can't wait to explore this house in more depth. And oh, they also have the new one. It's called, I think, Cedrat Evian, and it's sort of a mint citrus fragrance in the style of like 1861 by Xerjoff or Acqua di Cima by Eau d'Italy. But again, it's just a great price. I mean, I think you can get 100 ml of that for like 130, 120, and that's a banger, man. Like, you can rock that all summer and just kill it. People will be asking you what you're wearing all the time. I know Jeremy Clark, former fragrance bro, really liked that one. I think he was looking for a bottle of it. So crack fragrance. All of these fragrances are crack. Check them out. Check out Atelier Cologne. Go down to the Elizabeth location for the just unreal service. And well, that's it. That's this review. We'll have 2 videos next week again. You guys know what it is.
It's all a chess game. True size, the best remains. True lies, vibes die when bums infest the game. Bogus shit shot. You woke, you let your man get locked. I lit his hip hop. Stop the bank, let the crisp pop. Peep the next shit. Push your big bins. Fuck a